Don't know where it goes. I'm on a road. Follow your heart. It won't let you down. Follow your heart. Take the steps beyond your way. Take the steps. When you have a dream, you gotta start. It's the only way. If you're gonna shine, and you're gonna shine, shine, shine. You're gonna shine. And we are shining bright even on this gloomy day, because I see we got a lot of people watching already tonight, and I always love hanging out. Makes my Monday just so big and bright, and I love it. This is The Ranch. I'm Randie O'Neill, and I'm so happy you're hanging out with me tonight. We are brought to you by Blast Music 24/7, your one stop for all indie artists. If you're an indie artist, you want to be there. And if you're looking for new music, you want to go there. So hang out at Blast Music 24/7. We are also brought to you by Hotel Universe. So good to indie artists. You need something video, tell them Randie sent you. They're going to hook you up and help you out to the max. Advertising also is going to give a leg up to all indie artists. And then we have our radio. We span the globe to bring you the best in indie Americana music. And we do that with the help of Blast Music 24/7. Also, our radio stations in France, My Indie Radio. Love you guys. Thank you for listening. In Plow Zone in California, you guys are fabulous. I hear you got great sunshine today, so could be a little jealous over there, but we're on the ranch, so everything is good. Well, we got a treat for you tonight. Some real talent coming at you tonight. So without further ado, I'm bringing you Trey Calloway. Whoa, let me bring that down. I'm blocking you right now. There you go.
Hello, Randie.
Oh, we got comments already. Oh, Billy's happy. Look at that.
Hello,
Billy's
Billy.
happy. He's clapping. And Sandy's here. Oh, thank you, Sandy. I'm thrilled to have you hanging out and have Trey all to myself for an entire hour. Who's luckier than me? Trey, where are you hailing from? Where are you calling in from?
So I'm calling you from Nashville, Tennessee, but I am originally from around the Charlotte, North Carolina area.
Okay.
Yeah, and I lived in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina for a little while, and now I'm in Nashville.
Have you ever played Allendale?
I don't think I have. What is that?
It's south of Myrtle Beach, about 2 hours. It's one of the best outdoor venues I've ever played in my life.
What's it called?
It's called the Barn Jam in Allendale.
No, I haven't played it, but that does sound cool.
All my friends down there. I thought for you being from Myrtle Beach, that would be a big haunt of yours.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Rihanna's checking in and saying hello.
That's my wife. Hey, Raina.
Okay, got some people watching. That's awesome. So what's the weather in Nashville? We have sunshine?
It was rainy today. I drove most of the day today. I was driving from North Carolina to here, and it rained on me most of the day. But the sun peeked out for a little bit. It's pretty sunny, I think, now.
Oh, that's good. That means we got sunshine heading our way, I hope.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a little dreary, but we've been in drought here.
Yeah.
I'm in Pennsylvania, if you didn't know.
Oh, very cool. One of my best friends is from Pennsylvania. I'm not sure what town he's from, but he hails from Pennsylvania. He's a guy named Sean Ward. He's from Pennsylvania. He was in my wedding recently, so one of my best buddies. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. We used to go up and play a place called Winter Circle.
Winter Circle.
I want to say it was Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Up near
Okay.
Harrisburg. Yeah, it's a cool little country music club where they just line dance all night. Didn't matter what we played, as long as it was line danceable, they were gonna be out on the dance floor.
Oh, that sounds fun. I gotta look into that one.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Winter Circle. Fun venues. So you're playing it out a lot these days?
I am. As of right now, I'm doing about 4 or 5 shows a week. Mostly in town right now, but we're trying to get out and tour a little bit more next year. We've been working mainly on the recording stuff, the songwriting and the recording, but everybody always asks me, when's the tour? So that's kind of in the works. That's what we're working on right now. And I do have one Myrtle Beach show coming up. I'm playing my first ever Carolina Country Music Fest, which I'm really excited about. They're letting me do CCMF for the first time. So I'm really excited about that. And but that's about the only out of town show I got coming up for a while. Working on a show in Charlotte right now too. But that's not in stone completely yet though. But that'll be in October if it comes through.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're kind of staying local.
Trying to. When we hit the ground running, we will. I've toured at different places in my life, and it's a whole different ball game when you're piling up 5 people in a van and you're driving all over the country. And I'm ready for it again, but it's a different life. I know Randie. I know you.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
I do. And you really have to tool up for it because it sounds so glamorous because people think of big tour buses.
It's not. It's not.
People, you know how much to rent a big tour bus costs, y'all? Lots of money.
Yeah.
Fill the tip jar because lots of money.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. It is. It's we used to have this big old Econo van that we would tour around in, and we would pull a big trailer behind us, and it had all of our PA. If it was a venue that didn't have in-house sound, we'd use our own PA. And yeah, I did that with a band called Far Roads for about 2 or 3 years before I moved to Myrtle Beach the first time.
Okay.
So I know all about it. We were traveling all up and down the East Coast and a little bit out west, and so yeah, that was.
How many guys in a van?
Yeah, I think that was a 5-piece band. It was me and piano and lead guitar and bass and drums, and I played rhythm guitar. So it was a 5-piece band. So it was a big old Econo van. We had a bunch of bucket seats in it, so we would just. Somebody said, "Travel with your dog and stay at a Red Roof Inn."
Okay, that's my drummer, Mindy. My drummer, Mindy, and we had a gig, and we stayed at this Red Roof Inn. It was like the cheapest thing we could find.
Oh yeah.
It was Harrisburger. Oh, we played in this bowling alley, believe it or not.
Oh, I love bowling alley gigs.
Oh, they were so fun. Yeah, it was the best gig ever. Yeah. But then we went to this Red Roof. Oh my God, we made it till I think 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. Yeah. We couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
It was Pittsburgh. It was right, Pittsburgh.
Very cool.
And we were by an elevator.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how bad this room was.
Yeah.
And we got up in the morning and we just like ran. We were just like out of there.
I've stayed in some rough hotel rooms. I understand completely what you mean. I've stayed in some rough joints.
And I know the type of hotel rooms I was staying in. 5 guys.
Oh yeah.
Like bachelor pad, like city. Like I can almost smell it.
It's tough. It's tough for women in bands too. I feel bad for women in bands because men can just be smelly and stinky and they don't care. Women always have to go everywhere all dolled up and dressed up, and it's not fair to you guys.
And like how many times are you changing your underwear? Like, come on now, let's be honest, guys. You're not doing the wash. You're not.
In my adult years, I have become rather cleanly. I am very specific about my wardrobe, and like everything's pressed and ironed and starched and cologne sprayed on and very clean. I have to thank my wife for that. She kind of had a lot to do with me cleaning up my act a little bit. So she cleaned me up, I think.
Well, why France started the whole cologne thing, because we're bathing and everything else. Come on, let's be realistic about 5 guys in a van.
I introduced my son to cologne recently because he's 10 years old, but he's already started to go relatively girl crazy. So he wants to. He always I've got a little bottle of cologne that I keep in the console of my truck, and I'll spray it on me before we go in anywhere or something, and he'll always want a little bit now. So I can't avoid it now. I have to give him some, or
that is so sweet.
Yeah, he likes to smell good. So yeah.
Raina's sending you love. She's sending you some hearts.
Mm-hmm. She's the best.
Oh, that's amazing. It takes a certain type of person to support a musician.
No doubt, Randie. No doubt.
It really not being a musician isn't for the faint of heart.
Yeah.
I'm supporting like a musician where that's your whole passion.
Yep.
Well,
it's a constant high and low. This career is a constant high and a constant low. And one day you're on top of the world. Something good happens for your career and you're on top of the world, and that person's with you to celebrate. Yeah. And then the next day something bad happens and you're the most depressed you've ever been in your life. And then that person has to be the one to pick you up. And that is a tough job. The people who love us are don't get enough credit, I think. That's a good point, Randy.
No, I totally agree. And I've been ebbing and flowing. I'm down this weekend. I'm doing my show. I'm doing
Yep.
great. You know, like,
Yep.
you know, and you really have to pick your battles on success.
Yep.
And defining success.
Yep. You do.
You know,
Yep.
if I have a few people clapping, that's, you know, that's what you do music for. And I think you always have to keep focus on why you really do it. And if you get caught up in numbers and all this other craziness.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think I heard somebody one time, I can't remember who it was, but he's a musician and producer, and he has a YouTube channel, and he was talking about how historically difficult it has been to make a living playing music, like through history. It's difficult. It's always been difficult to make a living playing music. And, you know, it's no different than, you know, back in the medieval times when you had a king and his musicians in his court. You know, there weren't that many musician jobs going around.
Yeah.
So it's just a tough business to make it in. And it's a very emotional, artistic business, full of artistic, sensitive people trying to carve business out of it. And it's tough. It is, Randy, but it's worth it. But I guarantee you that 99.999% of all of us would look you dead in your eye and say, was it worth it? 100%.
100%, because you have a good night, you know, and we have tons of people watching tonight, and it's just so great. People
Amen.
Joining in. And then, you know, you have a weekend of, you know, you're all isolated. You're like, Are you still relevant? Are you still relevant?
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah. You got it.
Yeah. It can be brutal. And I saw an interview with Kevin Bacon just today, on social media. And he was talking about social media, and they were like, well, how do you come up with posts? And, you know, he's like, I got to tell you, he's like, I don't read. I don't do anything. I create shit. That's all I do. That's all I want to do is create shit. If people see it and respond to it, great. If not, that's how I keep my brain going. You know, he likes to have a camera going and things like that. Like, but he only feels good when he's creating. And I'm like, I got you, Kevin Bacon.
Yep. Amen. Amen. I get the way I write songs is really crazy. I mean, it's usually in conversation. I don't try to sit down and come up with song ideas. What I usually is just somebody will say something in conversation to me, and I'll say, wow, that sounds like a hook of a song, and I'll write it down. And that's usually how it works for me. Is it's just conversational. My brain's always thinking like a songwriter, always thinking like an entertainer. Like, man, this would really go over well in a show if you could write a song that really encapsulated that idea. So, no, I 100% get it. And I've seen Kevin Bacon's social media. He's pretty funny on there.
He actually is.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite actors. I mean, he's one of the best of all time. So.
And he's a good musician. He's solid.
Yeah, he is.
Him and his brother.
Yep.
On point, you know. So that's a great segue to Heal the Family.
Yep.
Because it's a cause. Yep. How did you pick the cause?
Well, it was during COVID and during the 2020 riots and all that stuff, and just all the turmoil going on in our country. I just decided that I was going to write a song saying, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. I really don't care. I love everybody. Like, we just need to remember that we're humans. We're all God's creations, and that we need to love each other. And so we wrote this song, and we had a really shoestring budget for the video. I think we made the video for about $1,200, maybe $1,100, something like that. And
that's actually a huge budget compared to.
Well, it is, but when the grand scheme of when you go to shoot a music video and somebody looks at you and goes, it's going to be $15,000.
I know, it's crazy.
$1,200 is like, wow, we did it for $1,200. So, but we had all these people that showed up. All my friends in Myrtle Beach showed up to support, and everything about that video that I love is just the sweetness of it. The community of it, it symbolizes what I was trying to convey to people. And to this day, even like my baby sister, I have a baby sister who's 10 years old, and she showed the song to her gym teacher, and he plays it in their gym class all the time while they're working out, while they're exercising. So it's just really cool that people really resonated with that song. And you know, even though we're past that, or we're working towards getting past all that stuff, I think that's a message that resonates throughout time. Is like, hey, you know, we have a lot more in common than we have apart. So you know, that's what the song's about. I'm really proud of it. I'm proud of that music video. I'm proud of that song as well. And it was a solo write. I wrote the song completely by myself without a co-writer. It was before I moved to Nashville, so I wasn't doing a lot of co-writing at the time. It's another reason why I'm proud of the song. It was a solo write.
Oh, that's great. And I got to tell you, I mean, I love the video shoot. I love shooting video. I'm one of those people. I really am into video.
Yeah.
And the opening of this like should come with a rating.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of intense.
Yeah. Oh,
It
yeah.
sets the mood for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you know, with the guy who directed, a guy named Tony, we told him, we said, you know, don't hold back. You know, we want to convey this message that you know, we got to remember that it's like brothers who fight. You know, I've seen brothers, you know, I've heard stories of brothers who get into one argument in their early days, and then they don't talk to each other for 35 years. And then before they know it, their lives have passed them by, and they don't even know their own brother, you know. So that's we got to avoid that at all costs, you know. So he didn't hold back, you know. It's, you know, I think you were talking about art being, you know, being painful and creating, you know, all I want to do is create. It's like our job as artists, even country music or whatever kind of genre, our job is to hold up a mirror to society and say, hey, look, you're ugly sometimes. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't look so good in the mirror, you know, and that's I'm willing to do that as an artist. I think a lot of artists today have gotten so safe, and it's got to be a summertime jam about going to the lake and fishing and drinking beer. And there's room for those kinds of songs. Don't get me wrong. There's room for that kind of song, but there's also needs to be room for serious topics to be talked about too. And I don't think they get talked about enough anymore. I heard Bobby Bones say on TikTok the other day, he was like, where are all the sad songs? You know, where are the Paint Me a Birminghams? And I was like, well, I got one for you, Bobby, but you know, it's hard to get those kind of messages across. You know what I mean? Oh, and Sandy's reminded me, it won Josie Music Award for Social Impact Music Video of the Year, which I was really proud of. That was my first ever Josie. So I was really proud of it.
That's big, Josie. They're big.
Yeah. Thanks, Randie.
All right. Well, we're going to listen to the song. To all my radio people that are listening, it's still an intense lyrics and song, but the video really packs a punch. So here we go.
Breaks my heart into pieces when I turn on my TV. Both sides are lost in an angry, bitter sea. Well, what happened to one nation? United we stood under this proclamation. Every soul was created equally. And the answer is so simple, we just refuse to see. We need love, we need tenderness, we need to forgive our brother and mend these fences. We need to sing out with one voice in unity. Say we need to heal this family. Now I know, my friend, that it's easier said than done. Often just one light can burn brighter than the sun. And I don't care at all of who's to blame. Let go of your pride and put down your pain. Together, build a better world for the ones yet to come. We need love, we need tenderness, we need to forgive our brother and mend these fences. We need to sing out with one voice in unity. We need to join hands. We can start today. Because hate isn't drug. throw up the children's seat. I say we need to heal this family. Oh, divided we fall, united we stand. Just a simple message from a desperate man, singing at the top of my lungs for the whole world to see. Well, now come on, y'all. Starts with you and me. We need love. We need tenderness. We need to forgive our brother and mend these fences. We need to sing out with one voice in unity. Well, we need to join hands. We can start today, because hate is a drug we should just throw away. We are the ones that can throw up the children's seat. I say we need to heal this family. I say we need to heal this family.
Okay, and we are back on the ranch. We are brought to you by Blast Music 24/7, your one-stop shop for indie music. And anyone who's on the show gets an account on Blast Music 24/7, so something to check it out. And they're doing big things for indie artists, because I know the streaming has been an issue for us. So they're finding a way to solve it. So it's really helpful. And there's a QR code. For those who are watching, you can check out that QR code. I'm going to keep it up there for just another second, because Billy really liked that song, True, True, True. He's absolutely right. We need a lot more of that, Trey. Great song.
Thanks, Randie. I appreciate you. Was I on camera jamming out just now? Was I?
No, when the video plays, we're off. So
I was air drumming.
Right. The whole air guitar and stuff that was going on.
There always the right before that last chorus, when that big push comes in on the drums, I always hit it. I can't help myself. I always air drum it every time. So I was like, then I saw that I was on the show.
Right.
Sorry about that, Randie, but I'm proud of that song. It's crazy to go back, and sometimes it's we make a piece of art and then we don't watch it for a long time. You know what I mean? And then we watch it back and it's like, man, that was a moment in time that we did something cool, you know?
You know, I find that too, like you're putting a set together and you're putting in newer stuff. And then you go back and you're like, dust off some of your old song. I'm like, wow, I wrote that too. Like,
yeah.
You know, it's good to
well, I think it's songwriter syndrome or whatever you want to call it. But it's like everything we write that's the best thing we've ever written. And then, 2 days later, we write another song and we're like, no, this is the best thing we've ever written. And it just, you do. I mean, my team has to kind of remind me that, like, hey, you have all these great songs that people want to hear and you should play them out more. And it's just,
Billy, air dropping with you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Billy.
Kim's even watched. Kim's got the flu. So nice to see you music, a positive message. Yes. And I'm with Trey on this one. Every release, I have to have like a social media, like a conscious song. Yeah. I think it's important.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Randie.
Yeah. Like that's how folk music started.
Oh, yeah.
They had a message and they weren't afraid to get out there and, speak their heart. And I think you're right. We've got a little timid.
Oh, without a doubt. I heard Keith Urban, the country artist Keith Urban, recently say it, and I thought he nailed it perfectly. He said we have become too concerned with how the public is going to react to our art instead of just making the art and just putting it out there. We've become so obsessed with, is this going to stream well? Is this going to go viral on TikTok? Is this going to do this or do that, instead of just making the music? Like, do you think Frank Zappa cared about what the kind of music he was putting out when he was putting it out? Do you think he cared? He was just like, we're gonna make the music we want to make. And I hope that with this new era of authenticity coming back around in the music business, that becomes a thing again. Just letting it.
Because Trey, do you remember when you wrote your first song? You know, you wanted to pull it together and you had a few friends that clapped, but you didn't write it to say, is everyone going to like it? It's like, this is my song. This is my
heart. That's what
I hope you like, you know, and who likes it,
Yeah.
You know, and now we're like, who am I going to piss off? Am I going to, you know, and we've become conscious like that. And, you know, again, we're not being true to our profession.
Yeah. I gave up trying to do whatever I thought people were going to like a long time ago. Actually, I write songs, and like I said before, you know, there's a place for the beer drinking boat song. There's a place for that. You know, when you go to a live music show, a lot of people, they don't think about music as deeply as we do, because we're the artist. You know, they just want to go drink a couple of beers. They want to go unwind. They worked a 40-hour job all week and they're tired, and they spend a little bit of extra income going to see your show because they love your music, you know? And so, you know, there's a place for that. Hey, let's just relax. Let's drop everything we're doing and just, you know, drink a beer and chill and listen to some good music. But there's also a place for the real message. Like, hey guys, I need you guys to listen up because I got something real to say to you now. And, and a lot of times it's good to do that in the package of, hey, I played you a funny, upbeat, catchy song, and now here's something real. You know,
yeah, you were dancing for about 10 minutes now. We're going to take a break, get a drink, rehydrate, listen to the song.
Yeah.
And I agree that there's a place for that, you know, and your set should kind of ebb and flow a little bit. Yeah. You know, you want to climax and, you know, get them back on, you know, and all that stuff. So,
And actually, I just kind of had my first, I guess I could call it like a viral moment on TikTok, which was a new single I've got coming out in a couple of days called She Misses Being Mrs. And it's about a war widow. It's about a husband who is a soldier, and he goes off and he dies in combat. And his wife, and the song is, she's the main character. She misses being Mrs. And it is just blowing up. We posted a short little clip of me singing the song, and it has just kind of blown up. And that to me is like, man, people really are hungry for true country music. And like you said, folk music. Like, to me, folk and country, authentic country, go hand in hand with each other. I'm a huge Johnny Cash fan, and I think Johnny Cash was as much of a folk singer as he was a country artist.
I agree. You know, and they both have the imagery. I think folk had the stronger messages, you know, like, you know, protests and things. And that started to cross over into the country music, but the strong imagery, you know, guitar driven.
The sound is very similar, you know, and I think that's why Johnny Cash loved Bob Dylan so much, because he was able to say those things he really wanted to say. And I think he got away with saying some things Johnny Cash couldn't say in his world. You know what I mean? So it's cool it's you and I are agreeing. I love that we kind of see eye to eye on this stuff.
Yeah, you and I. We're good.
Oh yeah. Oh, we're right here.
That's it. Yeah. You Americana artist, just shooting the breeze.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now we gotta talk bar songs.
Okay.
Because your second song up, when you walk in, is a bar song, but it shows that you're a big mush, because you come off all talk. I don't need this girl, blah, blah, blah. And then she walks in and you just come unglued.
Yeah. Well, that's the tale as old as time. You know, I think we all, especially guys, you know, I know I can only look from the perspective of a man, but, you know, I look at things and I say, men are the first ones to go, oh, I don't need her. I'm done. You know, I'm moving on with my life and whatever. And we act so tough and so guarded. And then we see that person again and we go, oh, you know, there she is, you know, or there he is. If you're a woman, you know, it's just, we try to pretend like we're tough and we're over somebody, but we're really not. You know, we see him and we go right back to the feeling.
And that's Rye Video's point. It is the truth in music.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's being your authentic self. That I'm being tough. Oh, she just walked in.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I can't wait for you guys to see this video because there's some funny stuff I want to talk about. And we had a lot of fun making this one. As a matter of fact, we made it in this little bar in Murrells Inlet, South Carolina. And I was just a big group of us. Same thing with the first music video. It was just like, hey, who wants to be in a music video? And people show up and we spent all day on it. It's a lot of fun. And this was actually the first video. My friend Alyssa Capps was kind of the star in the video, and she's the blonde girl. And then and she's been in a couple of my music videos now. She's become a good friend of mine. Her and her boyfriend Payne and her mom are great people, and they've become good friends of ours. And so yeah, it was just a lot of fun. I mean, I don't want to tell on her too much, but most of the outtakes are of her and the male lead, just messing up over and over again. They couldn't keep a straight face.
Again, people listening aren't going to be able to see this, but there's the line dancing pieces in there.
Oh yeah.
Do you register your line dances?
I probably should. If I don't, I probably should. I guess this one it is around 120 BPM. I think that's how we cut it was line dancing speed. It's definitely got the boots and cats thing. We knew that we wanted to make it line danceable. A lot of my songs are kind of in that vein. You know, that's a good way to get people dancing. So we should if we haven't yet, Randie.
Yeah, because there's sites to do. For people who don't know this, it's a thing. Yeah. If you line dance in a video, an original song, you can trademark your line dance on these sites.
Oh, okay. I understand.
You didn't know that?
No, I did not. That's
cool. Something.
Yes,
you can
did.
trademark your line dances.
I've got a friend of mine who I'm gonna get to put together some line dances.
Yeah, that was right now. Like, wow, this is the song, and Trey's gonna text his friend as we speak.
And I'm not sure if you know this, but that was the Cloggers and the Carolina Opry dancers that are in that video. Those are.
I saw them. I saw them clogging.
Yeah, they came in.
Another comment. Hold on. Oh, school them, Randie.
She's teaching me stuff.
It sounded like you knew, and I'm just like, okay.
No, I appreciate it. I'm always down to learn, and no, don't please tell me anything I don't know about the music business.
Oh, maybe tell me, who was it? A couple shows ago, they taught me, like, because I have a line dance in Queen of the Barstool two-step.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you should register. And I'm like, oh, they told me the name of the site. And I'm like, oh, that's a thing? They're like, oh, it's a huge thing. So I'm like, all right, let's watch this one when you walk in.
Falling in love. Well, my heart's been broken too many times, girl, enough's enough. So I go out to our favorite spot and I tell them all I'm over you and our love. In the middle of a crowd with the music up loud, nothing's gonna kill this buzz. Then you walk in and the world stops turning. My heart starts burning again. It's irresistible when you whisper, baby, how you been? And I'm caught up like a feather in the wind. Here I go again. Get you another drink. Listen, keep on pouring that one more glass of wine. When I try to resist, you're busting down
And we are back on the ranch, brought to you by Blast Music 24/7, your one stop for all indie artists. Again, we love and support all indie artists. We are spanning the globe to bring you the best in Americana artists. And if you want to look for great music, you have to go to Blast Music 24/7. Hotel Universe helps us put our shows on Roku, so we're actually on TV, which is just so cool. We have 2 radio stations, Plow Zone and My Indie Radio. So we actually are spanning the globe to hear the best in Americana music. Trey, that was a fun video.
Thank you. I always laugh that last scene where I'm in the background and they're coming like this. They did that scene. I swear they probably filmed it 20 times. They kept laughing. They'd get right here and they both bust out laughing. And I always laugh because that cowboy hat that I'm wearing in the video is a little too big on me, so it pushes my ears down like this. If you can't look at it next time you watch it.
We have to go back and see that. The ear being pinned down.
I had just gotten my hair cut, and so my hat was too big on me, and it didn't want to sit, so it would fall down on me like this. And it's movie magic, Randie.
Oh, I know. I was actually banned from Twitter for one of my videos, Queen of the Barstool Two-Step.
Oh no, what happened? You got to tell me.
There's a shot where I say line them up, I'll shoot them down. So I took some shot glasses and filled them up and pretended to drink them. It was all iced tea, and they went into a bucket. And I'm like, I'm getting banned for this. Like,
they banned you for the drinking?
Yeah, for showing shots, actually, Twitter. I don't,
That's silly. One time, one of my TikTok videos got banned because my social media guy was filming me in the passenger seat and I was driving the car and like lip syncing the video. But I was paying attention to the road, watching where I was going, like just singing along. And they banned it. They said that what I was doing was dangerous. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" So yeah.
Well, it was a cool video, and I bet it was a blast to shoot.
It was. That was a lot of fun. It was. The only thing is, it got hot in that. It got hot in that bar. Like, I guess they didn't have the AC turned on though, but it got hot. You can tell by the end of it, I'm sweating. So.
Billy's been there. He's done that. That's ridiculous when you consider how much trash. I know we get banned for stupid stuff.
You hit the nail on the head, Kim. I mean, I see some things on there that make me blush, and I'm like, I got banned for a driving video because I was driving on there.
I know.
But as long as you're not moving, you can even be in the driver's seat as long as the car is not moving, or you have to be in the passenger seat filming yourself. So yeah, I learned. It took me a while, but I figured it out.
I don't know if I want to live by their rules.
Right.
You know what? Facebook rules are changing all the time. Kim agrees 100%. Yeah. And it goes back to not trying to please who might think are my fans. I'm just trying to write a song and let the song be what it wants to be.
Yeah.
And get a message out there. And some people are going to like it. Oh, I like her old stuff. I like her new stuff. And, song by song, videos are the same way.
Yeah.
And I agree. We can't follow the rules. That's the point of being a musician.
Amen. Well, I tend to do, like, if we shoot content sometimes, I tend to do dangerous stuff. So, like, that one time we shot out by this old railroad track, and there was a big pile. They had piled up on the side of the railroad track all of these timbers that they used to build the track on top of, the big wood timbers that they put down on the ground. They had put all of the spare ones up. And, I mean, it was at least 20 feet high. The pile was at least 20 feet high. And so I climbed to the top of it so we could get a really cool shot. He was standing down here shooting up like that. And my mom, she was the one that got on. I got in trouble for that from my mom. My mom, after she saw it, she said, "Never again do that. You'll break your neck." So.
All right, I got a railroad track story. Yeah, I was filming for a shoot called I Walk Alone. And I'm like, I need railroad tracks.
Yeah.
I just need a set of railroad tracks.
Yeah. So
I set up some cameras and I started walking down the cracks with my guitar, back and forth. And then I walked backwards. I turned and there's a bunch of cops.
Oh no.
Standing, he's like, "Ma'am, do you know you're standing on some railroad tracks?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I can see a mile in two directions." He's like, "I'm gonna have to ask you to get off the tracks now." And I'm like, "I have one more segment to go. I'm like, you watch the tracks, and I wouldn't move, and he's just standing there, he's staring me down, and I just played the music and like did my last segment.
Is it illegal to stand on railroad tracks? It must be. It must be illegal, and I just didn't know it.
I think you're right, but like they're like I could literally see a mile in both directions.
It might be a state to state thing too. In some states, it might be illegal. Some it might not be. So
yeah. All right, somebody's Google. You guys are watching. I know. Google in your state. Like, is it illegal to walk on rail? We need to know.
We need to know.
It's important. Show. We want to stay accurate on the show. I mean, yes. I don't want to be giving false information out there. Yes. So Mindy, start Googling away and see why I almost got arrested, why you almost got yelled at by your mom, railroad tracks. Like, what's the deal? Yeah. Shooting on railroad tracks and people lose their shit. Like 20 feet up. I don't know. That's not so high. I mean,
it wasn't high enough to where I felt like if I had fallen off, I would have died. It felt like if I fell off this, I would definitely break my guitar.
Yeah, that was definitely break the guitar, break an arm type thing. But
yeah, maybe a broken bone, but not death. I don't know.
Yeah, if death isn't imminent, I don't know how scary it is.
Well, and the thing about it was some of them weren't stacked like perfect.
Oh,
they were a little wobbly. That was the part that felt the most dangerous, was the fact that those timbers were kind of rotten a little. Some of them were rotten, some of them were kind of woppy jawed and were kind of floppy and not doing the thing. She said you should have put them in your music video.
I think I did shoot the cop because I didn't turn the camera off, and like you got your wall, so that's cool.
We gotta for the next music video we're getting ready to do. I think I'm gonna end up having to get some police officers to be in this next one.
It always helps. Get them involved.
No, it's trespassing on railroad, probably within 5 feet. Okay, so it is a crime. It's considered trespassing. Okay.
Because it's private property. Yeah. It's real. They belong. Oh.
That makes sense. So it has nothing to do with your safety. It has to do with the fact you're walking on somebody else's property is what it is. That's
right.
That
you're trespassing.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah. That does make more sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Yes, it said exactly.
Yeah, it's not safety. They don't care.
No.
Well, they do.
Well, we don't care. We're not making this law to keep you safe. This is to keep you off of other people's stuff. So.
All right. Death by road. Oh, that's a thing. Death by railroad track.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
I bet you more people than you probably realize. That's probably the cause of death for more people than you realize.
I'm a crisis counselor.
Okay, we don't have to talk about it.
I am not kidding. And I was on a team called the flight team. Yeah. That if there's a crisis in like another school, I would go to that school and de-escalate. And it's a thing. And it's tragic.
Yeah.
So.
Well, anyway. Thank you for doing that. I've got an old principal of mine, a fellow named Mr. Binkley. After he retired from being a principal, he went to work at a school with kids who are on like kind of like their last strike, their third strike. It's either they go to this school or they go to juvenile detention center, and he helps rehabilitate them. So any teacher, any kind of person who does stuff like that, I have a lot of respect for. So thank you, Randie.
And those are my kind of kids. They really are. They're my heart.
Yeah, I've started to go there once a year and put on a concert at their school. And you would think that these kids that have this chip on their shoulder and they would reject me, but they don't at all. They love it. They have so much fun with me. They come up to me after the show. A lot of these kids just need a chance. You know?
I agree. Next time you do it, I'm opening for you. Seriously. We would definitely want you when to get crisis, Randie.
Yeah, that's what I was laughing at the joke. That sounds good to me, Randie. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. I get real calm and yeah. Okay, onward and onward. We got another video coming up. Now, this is interesting because you do go folky in this one.
Yes.
The Ballad of Righteous and Wrong, Two Brothers. in time. So how did this one happen?
So I love telling the story about how we wrote this song. So this one was a co-write. Both of those first two songs were just solo writes. But this third one I wrote with two of my best buddies, Greg Wilson and Hal Odell. And I walked into the write that day and I said, guys, I just can't write another pop country love song today. I just don't have it in me today. I don't want to write a pop country love song today. I was like, let's write something that's going to stand the test of time. Let's write something that's cool, that's epic, that tells a story, and kind of like A Devil Went Down to Georgia, that kind of thing, a story song. He was, and then Hal was like, you mean like a cowboy murder ballad type of thing? And I was like, yes, like exactly like a El Paso or Poncho and Lefty. Let's write something like that. So we did, and at first we were like, hey, is it going to be about star-crossed lovers? Well, no, that's already been done a bunch of times. Is it going to be about, the lawman and the outlaw? Well, yeah, well, that's cool, and it's been done, but it was like, well, what if they're brothers? And then what if they're twin brothers? And every time one of us would say something, and we basically wrote this story as we were writing it. It was really cool experience. We were writing the story at the same time as we were writing the song. And when we were done with it, we had this really cool song that was this grand experiment, and I knew it was probably not going to be some big streaming song. I have a lot of songs that have streamed a lot better than that song did. But to me, it was this grand experiment. It was like you and I were talking. It's art. It's art. I think that's the only way to put it. And then, so my wife's cousin is a graphic designer, and we approached him about making this video, basically a hand-drawn video to go along with the song. And they're all still shots. They're all pictures that are basically the music video reads like a storybook, like you're reading it in a book. And it turned out really cool. I mean, he hit the nail on the head with everything I had in my mind, and I'm really proud of this song. Even if it's never a big hit, if I ever am lucky enough to have a big hit, that'd be great. But I'll always be proud of this song just because of
All right, Trey, let's give a listen to The Battle of the Righteous and the Wrong.
$1,839, West Texas cabin by candlelight. A young mother gave birth to two twin boys. Funny how brothers who look just the same could turn out different as night and day. One had a good heart, the other a black empty void. The blood meets the bone in the whirlwind of the righteous and the wrong. Home from the war spring of '65, the good son struggled to just get by. Lived by himself on a small town deputy's pay. The bad son ran with a gang of fools, doing the things that outlaws do. Horses and whoring, always getting their way. Years went by and a fire grew. Jealousy's all the good son knew. Anger and fortunes that never came his way. Cattle stolen and cattle sold. Crooked games won with the dice he rolled. The bad son proved that sometimes crime does pay. Oh, the blood meets the bone in the whirlwind of the righteous and the wrong. The night before Christmas was cold and clear. The That sun rolling, not a soul was near. Robbed the Texas State Bank, his saddlebags filled up with gold. The good sun caught him just south of town. Both were prepared for the final showdown. One rode away, the other lay lifeless and cold. Newspaper headline on Christmas Day: Red deputy killed, killer gets away. They buried the body wearing that old silver star. Oh, the blood meets the bone in the whirlwind of the righteous and the wrong. There's a man with a beach house in Mexico. How he made his fortune, nobody knows. Spends his days and his nights and his money wild and free. He thinks about Texas from time to time, and the body he left for the town to find. Says, I wonder if they'll figure out it wasn't me. Rubbing his chest where that deputy star used to be.
I agree. Nice twist at the end. We are back on the ranch, brought to you by Blast Music 24/7. We span the globe for the best in indie Americana music. If you want to be on the ranch, just check out my website, Randie, spell my name right, RandieOneil.com/shows and apply to be on the ranch. Houston Bernard is the one who did the line dancing registry a while back. Thank you, Kim, for remembering that. And I do agree that was kind of an 1800s Cain and Abel. So,
Very much so. That's cool. That's a cool way to put it.
Yeah, that was well put. Okay, we were gabbing so much. I was like worried we weren't going to get the last song in.
Oh, that's all right.
Gabbing away, but we did it. We got it all in.
We did. We did it, Randy.
We have 5 minutes left. So 5 minutes. Trey, where can we find you? What are you up to? What's next?
So I'm working on a new album. So Ballad of Righteous and Wrong and Your Love Is Safe With Me were two kind of standalone singles that we released at the beginning of the year, but we're working on a new album now. Like I mentioned earlier, that new song is getting ready to drop in just a couple of days. Matter of fact, this Friday it drops. It's called She Misses Being Mrs. And I hope you guys will like it. But we got lots of new singles coming out from this new album. And like I said, my main goal is to get on the road and start touring a little bit more. And if you want to see me play, Nashville is the best place to come as of now. 4 or 5 nights a week I'm here. Usually from Wednesday through Sunday I'm playing somewhere down here. So yeah, and then you can follow me on social media. I'm Trey Calloway Music on everything.
Oh, that's good. Branding across platforms. Perfect.
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
Got to do it. Got to do it. Make it easy for everyone to find you, which is really good. So you're really keeping busy, which I appreciate.
They're trying to kill me, Randy, but that's what I signed for. So
I know. Take it while you can get it. I mean,
oh yeah.
Good for you. Good for you.
Thank you, Randy.
Okay, so we had a crowd listening tonight, which is really great. A lot of fun, you guys chiming in and hanging out with us tonight. We are here every Monday again, and hopefully Trey's going to put some new music together, and he's going to come back and visit us.
That sounds like a plan. I'm ready when you are.
All right. Sounds good to me. I'm having fun.
Me too.
All right. Again, thank you for tuning in. We will be back here next Monday. And we'll see you then.
Bye, y'all.
Don't know where it goes. I'm on a road. Follow your heart. It won't let you down. Follow your heart. Take the steps beyond your way.